Welcome. Today we dive into the systematic economic analysis technique, better known as SEAT or SEAT. This 7-step process forms the backbone of engineering economic analysis. It helps engineers and decision-makers evaluate investments and choose wisely. Before we begin, let's separate SEAT from the 10 engineering economic principles we covered in earlier videos. The 10 principles describe broad ideas about how economies and people behave. SEAT, by contrast, gives you a concrete, step-by-step process for making a specific investment decision. Analysts apply those big-picture principles while working through SEAT. To keep this practical, I'll not only explain the 7 steps, but also show how each one plays out with a real-world example. Step 1. Identify the investment alternatives. Start by listing all the choices available. Make them mutually exclusive, meaning you can pick either or, but not more than one, and collectively exhaustive, meaning you've considered all reasonable options. For example, a hospital wants to upgrade its imaging capabilities. The alternatives include 1. Buying a state-of-the-art MRI machine. 2. Leasing an MRI for 5 years. 3. Continuing to repair and maintain the old machine. If you don't account for all viable options, like outsourcing scans to another facility, you risk overlooking the best solution. Always include a do-nothing baseline, since it represents the cost of standing still. Step 2. Define the planning horizon. Next, set the time frame for comparison. This step ensures you evaluate each alternative on equal terms. You can define the horizon in several ways, using the shortest project life, using the longest project life, using the least common multiple of lifespans, applying a standard company horizon, such as 10 years, or assuming an infinite horizon for ongoing projects. For example, if the hospital sets a 10-year horizon, a 6-year machine requires a replacement plan for the remaining 4 years. A short horizon might hide long-term value. An overly long horizon might introduce unrealistic assumptions. The horizon shapes how you count costs and benefits, and it can change which option looks best. Step 3. Specify the minimum attractive rate of return. MARR. The MARR sets the benchmark return rate an investment must meet to be worthwhile. It reflects the organization's cost of capital and the opportunity cost of investing elsewhere. Back to the MRI scenario, the hospital sets its MARR at 6%. If the MRI project delivers 10%, it clears the hurdle. If it delivers 4%, it fails. Not all projects rest solely on financial returns, though. Safety, compliance, and reputation can override the numbers. We will go over the MARR in more detail in later videos. For now, just know that without a benchmark, you risk approving projects that drain resources instead of growing them. Step 4. Estimate the cash flows. Now, estimate cash flows for each investment alternative over the chosen horizon. Cash flows drive the analysis. Capture all inflows like revenue, savings, salvage value, and all outflows like purchase costs, operating expenses, maintenance. Cost estimates rely on both judgment and historical data. They will never be exact, but careful estimation reduces risk. For example, you estimate that buying the MRI costs $2 million up front. Annual operating and maintenance costs reach $150,000. Additional patient revenue brings in $500,000 per year. At year 10, the machine has a $200,000 salvage value. Step 5. Compare the alternatives. With cash flows in place, evaluate the alternatives. Common metrics include present worth, today's value of future cash flows, annual worth, equal yearly benefit across the horizon, benefit-cost ratio, value received per dollar spent, or internal rate of return rate that makes PW equal 0. We will go into detail on what these metrics are in later videos. For now, let's say that we used a present worth analysis and calculated that purchasing the MRI yields $1.2 million, leasing gives $400,000, and doing nothing loses $300,000. Based on present worth alone, buying the MRI wins. Consistent metrics prevent decision-makers from chasing incomplete or misleading numbers. Step 6. Perform supplementary analyses. Now stress test your assumptions with sensitivity and risk analysis. For example, the hospital asks, what if patient demand falls 20% below forecast? What if maintenance costs double? What if discount rates rise from 6% to 8%? By modeling these scenarios, analysts see whether the preferred choice still holds. Real-world conditions shift constantly. Supplementary analysis ensures resilience under uncertainty. Step 7. Select the preferred investment. Finally, choose the option that best meets organizational goals. The decision often combines financial and strategic factors. For example, the hospital purchases the MRI. It not only provides the strongest financial return, but also improves diagnostic capability, enhances patient trust, and positions the hospital as a healthcare leader. Numbers guide the process, but people make the decision. Intangible benefits often tip the balance. By mastering SEAT, you will 1. Identify all options. 2. Compare them fairly over time. 3. Set a realistic return threshold. 4. Forecast cash flows carefully. 5. Evaluate alternatives consistently. 6. Stress test assumptions. And 7. Recommend investments that balance financial and strategic goals. This blend of theory and method separates strong analysts from the rest. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the deeper dives. Until next time, design smart, think economically.